Welcome back, everybody. This is Herbie with my Nomadic Dream. I am over here at RV Life with TNA. We're going to go on a little adventure today. I don't really know what it is. So Tim just informed me that I'm going to need my drone, so I'm going to go grab that. What is it called again?
Going to the Blythe Intaglios.
Intaglios. It is like the Nazca lines over in Peru. So we're going to see what it's all about. Hop in the truck. Where's Angie at?
She's not feeling well today, so she's taking the day off.
Doesn't feel well. You don't get days off as a YouTuber or as a nomad. What the heck? Okay, this is the GPS from our location. We just got to follow this, or from here all the way over into Blythe. It's about a 45-minute drive. So we have made it to the Blythe Intaglios, but there's this plaque over here. It says giant desert figures. You can pause it and check it out for yourself. But we are literally in the middle of the desert. Nothing else around. But as you could have read, some pilot back in the 30s was flying over this area and found it. There is a handful of humanoid figures along with some animals in a spiral. They range from estimated maybe 400 to 1200 years old. So we're gonna get down this dirt road and check them out. All right, we are in the complex of this area. It is a pretty vast area. We got the mountains back behind me there, but it does look like there's a fenced off location there. So I'm assuming there's something over there. So I'm gonna throw up the drone. That footage was pretty darn amazing, but I put away the drone so that now we can go check out all of this stuff on foot, because there's two aspects to when these people created this. They saw it on the ground, but they made it to be seen from above. So we are doing both of that today. Luckily, Tim was bored one day and was doing a bunch of research to find out all the information on it. So if you want to know all of that, check out his channel, which will be posted like right here. All right, here's a little plaque right in here, the human figure. As you can see, it is a boy. But this is all of the information on it. You can pause it if you want. But it is pretty amazing how they were able to make all of this from way back when. So a lot of people might think that you can see it from these mountains over here. You cannot. You cannot see these from here, or these from there, because those are not high enough to actually see these on the ground. So it makes you wonder why they were done. But we're gonna go check out the companion, which is the animal, and I think this one has a spiral in it as well. I just find all of this stuff pretty fascinating because, you know, we don't really do this nowadays, but nonetheless, it's, I don't know, it kind of takes you back to a time when people thought to themselves that they had to do something like this. And we are stuck puzzled trying to figure out why they did it. what was the purpose behind it and all of that. But I'm gonna flip you guys around and show you. So there's the head right there. Got the body, the tail, a couple legs. And then right here is the spiral, which comes up in a lot of ancient drawings and petroglyphs that we still don't really understand why the spiral was so important. But the plaque is right over here. Got the animal spiral figures. I'll zoom in on this so that you guys can see it. You got the animal here, and then you got the spiral, which, based on how it looks, that may have came much, much later. But you can pause this and read it if you want. And this is a shot from this side. As you can tell, it's way better to see it from drones than it is from on the ground. And then with this one being on this side of this like dirt mound, there's no way that you could see it from over there. So the only logical way to see it is from up there. Huh. Hey, Tim.
Yeah.
So why do you think, what is your theory on why people made these back in the day?
Well, I would assume that they were talking to aliens, which they think were their creators.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I could think of.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that would have had spaceships or some type of
From
aircraft.
above, you know, kind of like heaven. If you ever find yourself in the Blythe area, which isn't really too far from Quartzsite, this is definitely an area that I don't think a lot of people know about and or check out. But we're gonna hop into Tim's mobile and get down the road to see some other ones. I got good news. We have arrived to the next one, so let's get to it. But first, we gotta walk through this human cattle guard. You got some pumpkins out here, probably for some wild animals. But just over that hill is the next one. We are coming upon the next humanoid. This one is a lot larger than the one before, with a much more prominent body, head, arms, and legs. But a little like backstory in the time of when these were possibly made. This is a very large wash. So at one time, this probably all had water in it at all times. And if you look in the distance, you see all of that farmland. There's a reason why that's farmland, is because that's very fertile soil. If you look, there's a river. But rivers were not always the size that they are today. There was a time when they were much, much, much larger. So the way that these people may have traveled to these remote areas was probably on the river that flowed right below us. But all history is speculation, because we can only gather the information that we see with our own eyes and make our own assumption, our own idea on how this area used to look. But if you look at the records, most of Arizona was under an inland sea back during the Cretaceous period. So over time, obviously, that water got a lot less and less and less, to where we just have the tiny Colorado River going through the desert. But we made it to the plaque, so let's check it out. And here it is, the human figure. It measures 105.6 feet from head to toe. Wow. But this is it. Got the two legs, feet, body. Wow, that is just amazing. It kind of makes you wonder though, again, why was it built? And did they travel here via what we know as the Colorado River today? That's just mysteries of our own country, of our own history. And it's pretty amazing just to imagine all of those different possibilities, which I find it very fascinating because I always thought that I should have been a geologist since I'm fascinated with landscapes and imagining how things used to be thousands of years ago. But we're gonna continue down this road up that little hill right there. So we made it up on top of this little foothill that has a pyramid made out of stacked stones. But we're gonna see if we can see anything from this elevation to see if it's even possible that this may have been like a viewing point for the ancient people. So if we look in the distance here, you don't really see much until I start zooming in. But way over here, see those that fence? That's where another geoglyph is with an animal. But even from this vantage point, you cannot see what it is. And then the other ones are over in this direction. And you can see the fence, but you can't even tell what is in that fence. So that just feeds to the mystery on why they built it so that you can see it from the sky. We're gonna get back into the truck and look at the maps to figure out how to get to the third site, which is just behind Tim's truck. It is fenced off, so it has to be a way to get there that is a designated road, since this is part of a BLM land. So we're gonna figure it out. Now we gotta try to make our way down this hill. Tim's over here double fisting it. Was it hard for you, Tim?
No.
No? Yeah. It's a Chevy. Chevys are very capable. But now we're going to try to figure out how to get over to the third site. Well, the third site is straight over that way, but it is pretty steep. So Tim might be running over there to check it out. I will not be, because I don't have the proper footwear, because all I'm wearing is Hey Dudes that have a lot of holes in them. But we do got this close to all vehicles to protect archaeological values. So pretty confident that they don't want any motorized vehicles over there, because while these you can still access by parking close to them and walking up to them, this one over here they might be trying to keep in pristine condition. But it looks like Tim's walking over there. There goes Timmy right there. He's gonna go jump that wash and climb up there. But I'm sure Tim is gonna make it over there. So I will include some of his footage of that area so that you guys can see it and so that I can see it as well.
Made it to the top. Site number 3. Yep, definitely out of shape. We're coming up on the plaque right here. Let's see. All right, here we got another human figure. It's a big boy, 170.6 feet, head to tail, or head to feet. and 147.5 feet across. You can pause that and read that if you want. Let's check it out. So here's what it looks like from the feet end right here. And this one's definitely more prominent as well. Let's go around to the head side. Yeah, so we looked on the map and looks like there's some off-road trails going out here to get to Site 3, but it really wasn't clear, so I decided to run over here. And it's not too bad, but I'm definitely out of shape. Here's the vantage point from the head. So you can see how big this really is. Dude's got some really long arms and really long legs. Yep. There it is. All right, let's go check out this other fence area and see what's over here. Here it looks like we got another four-legged beast right here. Another animal geoglyph in the Blythe Intaglios. So it looks like this one actually has a tail over here. So you got the four legs and then a tail. But this one's really prominent as well. So I've been looking around out here and there's no trails coming to site number 3 right here. So if you want to come see it, you might have to do what I did and run over here. But yeah, I don't see any trails coming in over here.
That is some pretty amazing footage that Tim got. So I hope you guys enjoyed this adventure video, and until next time, get outside and check something out that you have never seen before. So until next time, later guys, bye.